real good. I mean, he's there's an injury, and in a shortened season like this, there's probably going to be more, and it's a great opportunity for the young guys to get up and get a good look, not just for necessarily filling in for an injured player, but get an opportunity to truly play some games, and he's deserving of it. He's had a good year, and wish him well.
Back here, I noticed on practice today, Tyler Brown was in his spot in front of the net on the power play. Can you talk about that a little bit? I know he's another second-year pro. Can probably benefit from this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's got good size, and that's really what I'm looking for in the front of the net, is a player who's willing to hang in there when the shots are coming from the one-timers off the top of the tips of the circle or the middle of the ice. That's a skill in itself. You have to train your mind to do that. But and also he's got the size that he can find the goalie's head and screen the goaltender. So it's an opportunity for him.
I noticed this past, going back to Saturday and Sunday, Harry Zolnarczyk was wearing an A on his jersey. Manning didn't play Saturday, so that probably played a part in it. But then he had it again there Sunday.
Yeah. Well, the reason he got it was, as you mentioned, with Manning out of the lineup, and I decided to go with the 3 A's the other night in Atlantic City. I thought I haven't made my mind up on whether there's going to be a C or not. I have used 3 A's before, and I'm going to give it a look and see how that works.
Sure.
Are you thinking of, if you make somebody a C, you'll be one of those 3?
That would be the normal process, I guess. But I was pretty comfortable with what I saw last night. I think there's a real need for a forward to have a letter on his sweater to be able to communicate with the referee, and also the other part of the captains for me is a leadership group. They are in the locker room and they're helping get the team ready to play.
Is he going to keep it then for tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'll keep the A on his sweater for now.
Okay. What did you think of Lilja in his first weekend back?
I thought it was very demanding, playing that many games, to travel.
Right.
But he's a real veteran guy. The one thing about as you mature in the game, you learn how to play with fatigue. You let the game play. You let the system play. You're not looking to force the issue. You're going to keep the play in front of you as a defenseman, and he understands that. He's a smart player, moves the puck very well, and overall I thought his game was tremendous. He really helped to settle situations out several times in our D-zone.
Kelly was out there for their half practice, continuing the road to recovery.
And that was planned, the half practice. Anytime a player comes back after several days off like he was, it's a half a practice, just the early part with the skating, get your legs going, see how you feel. Says he's feeling pretty good and on the bike again right now, so progress.
Is there any more of a timetable on some of the other injured guys, like Rowe or anything like that?
I don't really have a timetable necessarily. I think whenever Rowe was injured, we're looking at 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
So, he's still got probably 3 in front of him, 2.5 in front of him. With Conan, I don't know. We'll see how he is tomorrow. I'm hoping that he's able to get in some games here as we get to the weekend coming up before the All-Star break.
I know that Gustafsson he was saying last week that he was hopeful that he could get back on the ice today, and obviously he wasn't out there. Right?
Was he out before practice?
He was out there early, yeah. He's the All-Star, so he's going to have to. We're going to have to decide on very quickly. I spoke with the league about this, and if he's not able to get into the game, then we have to notify them quickly and get an alternate.
I wanted to just ask you some of the stuff I was asking Fitzy about. And I know we talked before about his versatility, but I kind of wanted to ask you about his just overall attitude, because even when he wasn't playing, he still had high energy and came off really positive, and that's the situation you can see getting really frustrating. Well,
he's one of the more positive, upbeat players that I've ever had, and that's a lot of players. He's great enthusiasm, energy, emotion. He brings emotion even when not playing in the locker room. He's always greeting players, the team, after the game is over. He's just a quality guy. Comes to work and wants to get better. Not only get his work in, but he's looking to improve as a hockey player. He asks questions. making the adjustment from defense to forward, and that's a lot easier than going the other way. But still, it's something that you have to work out in your own mind and get a lot of timing in place. And I think he's done a tremendous job at that.
Has his overall attitude and just kind of keeping that, always trying to work harder, is that part of why you've kept him at forward when, there have been a couple instances this weekend, for example, when, there was a healthy, natural forward and, he brings this different dynamic with his energy?
He's a tough guy. I mean, he'll fight for his teammates. I mean, he's that guy that lets this young hockey club, and we do have a very young hockey club, play the game comfortably. If somebody's going to go out of their way and try to do something, then he's there and just buy me the time to get across the ice to help you out, kind of an attitude. And that's why that's a huge part of his role. And again, that's a huge part of the emotion that he brings to the hockey team, and the players all appreciate what he brings. It's a role that nobody wants to play. There are guys that are willing to jump in their hockey club. I don't mean that, but it's a very hard role. When you walk out of the door every morning and you go to the game, maybe somebody's going to punch you in the face. That's not much fun. So, but he accepts it, he knows it, he understands it, and he does it very well.